Hi, I'm Wynton Henderson. I'm here to talk to you about things we use every day. I'd love to be a consumer advocate to help people find deals and find better ways to manage their capital and their resources to live a more comfortable life. Now, you've heard about the food critics, I think his name is Keith Lee, excellent young man, and I love his concept to venture the uh, restaurants and taste menus around the country and enlightening people on how to find a better taste, a greater dish, especially for your money. And in our community, it's very important to get what do you say, your best bang for your buck. And that's exactly what I want to talk to you about today. Welcome to Wynton's X Consumer Advocate. From this point on, I'll be discussing products and services in our lives that affects everybody that consume these particular products. In this case, appliances like washers and dryers. I happen to have the need for washers and dryers because I serve a community of people that lease rooms from me, and so that's one of the conveniences that I offer for renting one of my rooms is that in my homes is that I provide free washing and drying and what you get, microwave oven, gas oven, stove. You can cook your it's basically your own part of the house. So and with that I go through a lot of washers and dryers. So I've had the experience to buy a new washer and dryer thinking that, well, since it's new, it'll last longer than the used stuff, right? Wrong. If you buy something new and it doesn't last long, you may as well have bought it used and got the same economy. In fact, better in terms of economics, because the used one is anywhere from half to 60-70% less. Now, the other part of that is you could always get a warranty, and by the time you pay out the warranty, you could have bought another, appliance half the time. Not all the time, but what we find in consumer advocate is that we have to defend the poor people. See, the rich people get the best deal in the first place, in general, unless they're trying to pay the top dollar, but for name brand stuff. But if you find you're really successful billionaires, they're really thrifty guys. I mean, my man Warren Buffett and Mark Cuban, those guys are, the bomb diggity on being thrifty. Now, I know there's a lot of more people out there. I just named those off the top of my head, mostly because they're so well known for their wealth. And their wealth didn't come overnight. It took a lot of ingenuity and careful analysis of the marketplace. But in essence, they're great advocates for what they do. Just like Mr. Cuban is advocating for lower drug prices for prescription drugs. Well, that affects a lot of senior citizens that look like me, and those type of people. Mostly people who are at the mercy of the healthcare system in terms of affording very expensive meds. Okay, so yes, I bought a new washer. And did I buy the dryer there? Well, let's start with the washer. Folks, I wouldn't advise anybody to shop at cons. Okay? No offense, cons. And I'll see you in court if you got a problem with what I'm saying, because I bought a washer from Cons, and I offered to pay cash for it, and of course they talked me into charging it. It's my fault. I should have relented, but it's okay. I ended up paying cash for the thing anyway to settle the debt, because I refused to pay any more payments because the machine quit working. And then they spin you on the warranty thing, which they force you to get insurance and all kind of stuff because you don't buy it outright. So because I took the credit to get the machine on credit, it cost me a great deal more, because they charged me for appliance insurance, which was not something that I expected to pay on a new product that I bought outright. And what else? Oh, the warranty. And then have the extended warranty. And now you see, why do I need a warranty if it's new? Well, actually, it's new, but it didn't make a year. Didn't even make 12 months before breaking down. And I'm only talking about, 2 tenants in the house. That's no bigger than a family size of people who would, live in the house. And so I didn't think it was a great challenge. Well, I guess it is. It is a little more stress on the machines if you have multiple people using them, but that's not unusual in a large family. So anyway, so don't buy Cons. Don't take their credit, nothing. Actually, you do better to go buy a few used places. I'm shopping them, and I will review the used appliances dealers to see who treats me the best. If I buy it from there and it doesn't work, in another 6 months, year, you only give me a 90-day warranty. What if it goes out the fourth month? 120 days. So do we start over? Do you charge me the same price? Do you fix it and just charge me that? What do you do? I am going to make this easy for our consumers, because the poor are the ones being preyed upon. Remember that. The very, very rich, hey, I'm rich on papers. You have to liquidate it to get that money out. And I like to see my money continue to grow in assets and not necessarily in the bank, you know what I'm saying, in my pocket spending it. But I have to spend it to survive and keep the things that are making the money, which is the equity in the homes. So there we are. So you see, this is a consumer advocate that promotes good buys, whether it's used, brand new, whether you're talking about not necessarily real estate in itself, but how it works. You have to buy to realize equity and hold, sometimes for a minute. And in my community, it's always been more than a minute. We have a new economy now where houses are quadrupled what they were. And it used to take, 10, 20 years sometimes for a house to double. But now, it happened in 5 years. It was like, whoa. And it's great if you have a lot of property already. But if you don't, you miss the boat on that one, because guess what? The boat has sailed. Houses are expensive now, even for people. Try this. I can't even qualify for the properties that I own right now. If I had to buy them right now, outright, I couldn't even qualify. That lets you know that if I'm froze out of the market, that there's gotta be millions of people who are frozen out of the market at this time, mostly because it's just, things are just so expensive. And like I said, because I was already a homeowner 2 or 3 times over, it made a mint for me. That's where I'm a millionaire on paper. I gotta sell them to make the money. And so I'm afraid to sell because I sold once too soon and then the market quadrupled. So now I'm like, what if it does that again? So I'm gonna hold on a little longer. But I'm gonna take some of the equity out and try to leverage it to, clean up the place, improve it, or try to find a good deal here or there. But you got to have cash to find a good deal. Good deals don't pop up overnight, and when they do, you got to be ready to spring. That means you need some dry powder. That's what they call, stash savings, a few funds that you can make a move on when you have to. Okay, I am trying to keep this moderate, and I think 10 minutes is long enough for the first segment. But we're going to be talking about later some other detailed consumer products that we all should have, if we don't, in this lifetime to make things a little better. And this is Wynton Xavier Henderson, Wyntonix, consumer advocate, coming to you from anywhere in the country. But I'm in my little home gallery here. So right here on the end, I'm going to kind of showcase some new pictures that I have. If you look behind me, that's Martin Luther King. This guy's standing here. It's a cardboard development I did for a Black History museum at my school. Behind him is a painting, which is this young lady. She's playing the violin. She's a violin virtuoso. I think she was only about 9 or 10, maybe 12. It was somewhere along in there. I painted her at our little art show we had out in Las Colinas, and she was one of the, actually she was the host, or guest I should say, virtuoso, young virtuoso, and she was very good. I used to remember her name, but that's been a few decades since I painted that, and I haven't heard much about her since. I'm sure she's probably graduated college by now, as old as that, long as that's been. On this other side is Rosa Parks. As you can see, that's a cardboard figure of her alongside with King on this side, because that's my den right there. But anyway, that's all we have. That's all I want to show right now. I got some more things to show. I don't want to give away the whole show in one setting. So I'll be showing you my art a little at a time and trying to not necessarily sell you, just to educate you on what I'm doing as an artist, because I have some new sculptures, some made out of oak wood, others made out of plastic bottles, some made out of clay, ceramics and stuff like that. But I'm all over the place. For me, the more you do, the more you can do, it can get a little confusing. And so I'm starting to focus now and try to bring things in one item at a time. This today was consumer advocacy, a little bit of real estate, and the rest of it was presenting my home museum, Black museum for Black history. Our Black history does not just happen once a month. It is all year long, because I was born Black and I'm gonna stay Black. Even if I decided to bleach myself, I'm still Black. So don't get it twisted. But I wouldn't do that. If anything, I would try to keep the tan from tanning darker, just because I know that it's possible to keep it in place to where you were born. In other words, the complexion you have when you were born. People don't know that as dark as we are, we love our color, but we tan in the summer just like anybody else that gets in the sun. In fact, we tan much faster and darker. But, it's great. I love my little tan. But as you can see, a lot of people are color struck. So, hey, I'm kind of guilty of it too, because it's in green. I try to fight against it. But I find myself, when I look into the face of a Somalian and their faces are blue, black, it's like, wow. You have to really focus to try to, wow. It's amazing. The same way you see a person that's so white, you think, dang, they need a tan. Some kind of way. It's very interesting. Very interesting. But now I'm considered dark. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. But I'm just talking about when you see that blue black, it's like, oh Lord Almighty, praise Jesus. So, how many people would still embrace the Lord Jesus, Yeshua, if he presented himself in that skin so dark as night, even though his hair is white and like that, the texture of a lamb, he is yet the Lord sitting on the throne. And that, my sir, my people, my audience, is the end of this segment. Thank you and come back. Oh, don't forget, you can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/WYNTOUN, WYNTOUN, and you will have my page. I'm going to be loading these up periodically, probably once a week, and I might increase them. It just depends on what I'm working on. Okay, out. Peace.